Hi guys, it's David James from Business Growth Digital Marketing, and in today's show, I am graced with the presence of a man who is from the seas of the British Isles, who has been doing wondrous things with his business partner Dave. You've probably already heard of like the tool, the brand, and probably the man himself. I want to welcome to the show Mark Samms from Ninja Outreach. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? How's things going, David?
Yeah, things are awesome, man. So, for some of those people in my audience who aren't familiar with Ninja Outreach and with yourself, can you just introduce yourself and your brand to us?
Yeah, not a problem. So my name's Mark Samms. I'm one of the co-founders from Ninja Outreach. Uh, Ninja Outreach, we're a software platform that allows people to find influencers, build relationships with those people, and create collaborations that generate traffic and sales.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
awesome.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, like I've seen your tool, and I've like there's a lot of link building tools out there. There's some that can do some of the things that they say. There's others that just really promote the hype. Uh, like, what makes your tool stand out from the rest of the crowd?
Well, I'd say that our tool is not like not just not just about link building. Like, yes, link building is a primary function of it, but I guess what makes us stand out is that when we started our brand,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we looked at who. So we had the idea for what we wanted to do.
Yep.
Like, we wanted a tool that would allow us to find influencers, connect with them, and manage the whole process very seamlessly through one sort of dashboard, and not have to have lots of different softwares to do this or to do that and to do this. Is what we saw as the problem before. So we looked at lots of different tools, and what we did before we even launched the tool, as we was in development phase, we spent a lot of time looking for people were who had reviewed other tools that were similar to ours or direct competition to us, who had commented on other tools, who had basically mentioned them in forums and so on and so forth. We spent a lot of time sort of like digging up those types of people, finding out their contact details, direct messaging them or whatever, and and basically getting those people on calls. I think we did like 400 interviews,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like 10, 15-minute interviews where we asked questions like, what do you like about tool A, tool B, tool C? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what would you find is a really good feature of them? What do you dislike about them? And well, if you could have one dream feature, what would
Mm-hmm.
it be? Or if it could do something that you really want, what would it be? And what that did for us is that allowed us to sort of identify that what people liked is that the promise of what the tool was supposed to do for them. What they disliked about the tools was like very complicated, very hard to use,
Mm-hmm.
uh, seemed unnecessarily complicated to find things, to identify different little things, and so on and so forth. And we saw that as a recurring thing that came up a lot, and a couple of other things as well. And we we took that to heart as we developed the tool, and me and Dave, we really made sure that we had this very streamlined, simple, stripped back approach to the tool.
Mm-hmm.
And for years now of the tool being live in the marketplace and so on and so forth, that's one of the compliments that we get a lot from people is that they say that the tool is so easy to use. Like I can just go in there and I can just start to generate results out of it, start to get into things, and I just don't get confused. Like yes, maybe for some deeper stuff they might need to like connecting their email client to the tool and stuff like that. They
Mm-hmm.
might need to look at like a knowledge base and stuff like that, but we have
Yep.
that information there. So to answer your question, what makes us different, I believe that we took the time to find out what people really want, and we created a tool that was simple to use, but also all encompassing in regards to uh, it allows you to prospect to find influencers. It allows you to manage them within a CRM, and it allows you to obviously connect with those people and manage to follow up and so on and so forth. And a lot of tools don't manage automatic follow up and stuff like that, so we do that as well.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
there's a ton of little nuances as well, but that's those are the main things.
Yeah, well, that's what you need. Like it comes down to the process, and like the outreach process, it's very much like traditional PR or even sales in a way. Where you follow the process, you have your prospect. They turn into opportunities and leads, and then you try to get some kind of conversion. And something that I know you mentioned to me like just before the call was businesses or whoever's managing a website needs to have the right model in place, and then they need to use the tool to facilitate that model and to use it as a catalyst to take it to the next level. Could you just talk more about that?
100%. Like, I think so. I spend a lot of time in the day speaking with people who have maybe started using the tool and they've got this new business idea and so on and so forth. And they have this perception that the tool is going to save their business, is going to all of a sudden magically make them traffic and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's not what the tool is. The tool facilitates a good marketing strategy or a good marketing campaign, like a
Hmm.
good outreach marketing campaign. So beforehand, you have to have thought about who is my ideal customer and who owns them.
Hmm.
Then you have to think about, okay, now I know that who is my ideal customer. Like, what are they about? What are these people about? And how do I communicate with them in a way that makes them want to collaborate with me?
Yeah.
What's important to them? What sort of things can I offer to them? Why would they want to work with me? Yeah.
Hmm.
And you can do this as you're doing the process of Ninja Outreach. Like you'd go through it and you'd be like, you'd run a search on the people that you feel own the audience that you're trying to go after. You'd find a number of those people. What a lot of people do is they just get that list and then they just try to mail them. But
Yeah.
what I'd say you should be doing is really spending time, and it's not favorable because obviously it takes time, but like to actually spend time looking at like what are these sites about? What are they about? Who are the people behind them? What's
Hmm.
important to them? What's the key recurring things that I see gap coming up? And then that allows you to really sort of craft a message that speaks to the person in
Hmm.
a way that makes them want to take action, potentially want to work with you, and also potentially become an ambassador for what you do. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
It does. You know, it's something I've been advocating to clients and to other people in the industry because like my from my experience anyway, I've been in the industry since 2007 and I've seen a lot of changes. You know, I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes as well. And I know that back in the day you could just, you know, like smash out a whole heap of emails and you could get lucky with like responses and like maybe get some people who link to you. But you
Yeah.
know, unfortunately, those days are pretty much over. You know, so like you have to build the relationships and you have to take the time. You know, like sometimes you might get lucky with just either sending an email or you might make a phone call and then the person might be like, yeah, like I'll link to you. You know,
Yeah.
but more often than not, you know, it's like you have to give value in order to get it back. You know, and then giving that
So
it's gonna take time.
yeah, no, I agree. And what I want to sort of like, I guess, clarify there is that
Hmm.
there's a balance. So it's like, I'm not saying that every single outreach message has to be personalized because as you start to scale, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, there is a balance, and that balance is like this. It's like you'll categorize people into, I guess, tiers, if you like.
Hmm.
And so, for example, you may have like a top tier, like the sites that you really want to work with. These
Yeah.
are top big sites and so on and so forth. You really want to work with them. Like that group of people shouldn't be more than sort of like maybe 20 to 50 people because they've got super influence, yeah.
Yeah.
And you really want to spend with time with that group of people. You want to spend time following those people. You want to spend time engaging in wherever they're at, like commenting on articles they're publishing, engaging on their social media and so on and so forth and stuff like that. Yeah. Potentially even like if you're on their newsletter and stuff like that, like replying back to things, like not asking for anything, just literally like that was some great content that you did, and so
Mm.
just getting in the mind frame of these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the main top tier category that you're looking at. Yeah. You
Yeah.
want to spend a bit of time doing that so that when you reach out to that person's like, oh, that's Dave, oh, that's Mark, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. Who's always adding value to my audience and so on and so forth. So great. That's what you want to do from that point of view. Then you've got like the next tier of people who maybe you don't know exactly who they are, but you know like they've got like some authority, they've got traffic and so on and so forth. And you you create like an outreach message, right?
Mhm.
And this message can be generic, but like when I say generic, the good thing about Ninja Outreach is that what you can do is you can create like custom fields. So, for example, you can be like, "Hey, name," and it will automatically put their name in if we've got their name, and you can say something like, and people have different thoughts about this line. Like people say, "Oh, this line is tired," and so on and so forth. Yeah, but like for me, it still works. For us, it still works. And we do client work all the time, so it works for us, right? And so this line is, I was doing some research, or I came across your post,
Yeah.
something like you basically align with something that's related to them. And
Yeah.
you say, and I came across your article on. And then what you can do with Ninja Outreach is that you can basically put in a custom tag which says URL,
Yeah.
and whatever that article was that you came across, you can have it replace that tag with the title of that article, like the actual title of the article, with an anchor text link in that email over to that article. So
Yeah.
it could be like, yeah, so I was doing some research on SEO, and I came across your article, the top 10 SEO tools, and that'll be a clickable link. The top 10 SEO tools will be a clickable link over to the thing. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. I love the stuff that you're doing over there, and I just want to thank you for that. So it gives like an element of customization, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously you're linking through to a specific article that's related to what you're searching for, and little things like that is what you can do. And then obviously keeping the outreach message quite short and sweet and to the point is always useful. Like, so you pretty much, after you've introduced yourself and told them how you came across them, pretty much just get into like, what is it you want? Like, hey, I'd really like to put together a really targeted guest post for your audience, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. I think it'll add a ton of value. You
Mm-hmm.
show them, if you've got some social proof of stuff you've done in the past, you show them some social proof of guest posts you've done in the past. If you haven't, show them like articles that you've written already,
Yeah.
and then as and when you do get some social proof of different articles the way you've done guest posts, you change that outreach message and put in those messages. And obviously, as you scale up and you get maybe some big posts, like where you publish on like Moz or something like that, for example, yeah, like you obviously put the best ones in there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
rotate them out, so you rotate up into the best one, sort of thing, and then just pretty much be like, if it's something that you're interested in, great, let me know. I'll let you know some of the topics that we're working on here, and that's pretty much it. And obviously, that changes depending on what your outreach goal is.
Yeah. Uh, Now, there's a couple things that you mentioned in that I think is really interesting, and one of the things that it kind of leans towards something that I promoted in the book that I wrote before is the value proposition. So,
Yeah,
now I do sales and I do SEO and I do link building, and something that's always a common theme is you have to have your unique value proposition right before you can offer it to
yeah.
someone. This is probably the biggest flaw that I find when
Mention,
I. Sorry, come
yeah.
again?
And I was saying I forgot to mention that actually. Like
Yeah.
there's little things that you can put in the actual outreach email as well. But carry on. Yeah,
Yeah. So I just wanted to say with the unique value proposition, a lot of people are missing that. So then it makes it very difficult to be able to do the rest of the activities or to use the tools to the best potential. So I just wanted to get you to
yeah,
talk about the importance of the unique value proposition and how you might convey that in your campaigns or in client
one hundred
campaigns or
percent,
yeah.
100%. So in an outreach message, sometimes what we'll talk about is like, so if we're asking somebody to mention us in an existing article or something like that,
Hmm.
and add us as an additional resource, we may say that what we'll do is we'll promote if you add us, we'll promote you out to our socials. So we'll
Yeah.
promote you on our social, we'll promote that particular article on our social media. So it's something like, and obviously we've got like a following. So like, yeah,
Hmm.
we're saying we'll do that. You can also do things like, I remember when we first started out, like one of the things that we were saying to people was like, we'll give you 6 months, a year's access to Ninja Outreach if you're interested, and so on and so forth.
Nice.
Like whether it be a guest blog post, whether it be like a product review or something of that nature. Yeah, we offer like access to it. And then what you've also got to think about is there's two people that your audience, I mean, sorry, that these influencers care
Hmm.
about. It's themselves
Yeah.
and it's their audience.
Hmm.
That's who they care about. They care about themselves and their audience. So I remember what we used to do is we used to say, And as additionally, what we can do as well is we can give you a year or 6 months worth of access to the tool, or a year's access to the tool. Plus, we could offer two people from your audience
Mm.
access to the tool for a year. And what we'd do is we'd say like, and you could maybe roll that up into a competition and make it really fun for your audience. With the
Mm-hmm.
mindset and the agenda of that, if they make an event out of this, more
Yes.
people are going to hear about us, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Right? So, and also it's great for them because like, oh, I've got two exclusive licenses to Ninja Outreach for a year, like who
Yep.
wants in, sort of thing. So they're more open then to open up and get into their whole list and so on and so forth
Mm.
to get the word out about what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, that's amazing.
Another thing that you
Yep.
can do with Outreach as well is basically, so for example, like for example, you're wanting to get affiliates.
Yep.
Now, I get customers come to me and they're like, "Yeah, I want affiliates." I'm like, all right. So, what do you want? Like, what do you want to do? Like, yeah, I just want to reach out to a ton of affiliates and ask them to become my affiliate. Do you know them? No. If somebody's sending me an email saying, "Can you be my affiliate for this product?" First off, not to be arrogant, but like, I'm a bit busy. Like, I don't, who are you? I don't know you. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really
Exactly.
care about what you're about. Like, it's not that I know you. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe not. Yeah, probably maybe unlikely unless you're like some prolific blogger who everybody knows that you know, like you're like a Neil Patel or something like that. Like
Yep.
different. But I don't necessarily know you, so it's like I may not even look at what you even have to offer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh, Now, how do you switch that up? There's a couple of ways. Like if you're, and this goes into the value proposition side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that maybe what you could do is you could, and this is something that we actually do, and it's a way that we get some super affiliates behind us and stuff like that. Yeah, where what you can actually do is you can say to people, you can reach out to people and say, "Hey, I love your stuff, and what you do, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to promote you. I want to let my audience, my social media following, whatever you have, you've got maybe an email list. In some cases, depending on who the person is, it's worth even putting a paid advertising. If you haven't got no list or anything together, it's
Mm.
worth putting a little paid advertising campaign, spending a few $100s just sending them traffic to something that is interest, like something that they maybe sell or some sort of like lead magnet that they have and stuff like that. Because and looking and start with them, come with the mindset of nothing. You're not actually looking for anything from it, not a commission or anything to
Mm-hmm.
start off with, because it's back to that value proposition. You reach out to someone you don't know from Adam, and really what you want is something from them.
Mm-hmm.
You pay it forward. What can you do for them first?
Yep.
And if you can say like, if you've got a bit of a list or you got a following or something like that, then reach out to them and say to them, I love your stuff. I want to let my audience know about you and so on and so forth. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything in particular you want me to promote and let my audience know about?
Yep.
Who's going to say no to that? Most people are going to be like, all right, cool. Like, what do
Yeah.
you want to know? They may even say to you, yeah, you can sign up as an affiliate as well. But on the first one, I typically don't ask to sign up as an affiliate. I'll
Yeah. Yeah.
do. They say yes. When they say yes, yeah, you'll be surprised. Some people don't even say yes, which is crazy. But like, if they say yes, yeah, then we'll do a mailing. We'll do a mailing for whatever the offer is and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get them a ton, like they'll get some subscribers and so on and so forth, and it's great. Then
Yep.
give it a 1 week or so. We reach back out to them, say like, hey, got some feedback from the audience and stuff like that. People really like uh, the content that you're providing and so on and so forth. And then you just say like, look, like I'd like to do the same again, but like I also feel that my audience is very in tune with your audience, and this
Mm-hmm.
is now where you start to like actually say to them like, let's do something like where if you, I've got this offer where somebody opts in, and I've got some value videos where I talk about outreach and
Mm-hmm.
exactly how to do this, and that, yeah, and it really goes into depth. And like we was actually selling these videos before, whatever it was, whatever the case may be for you, yeah. These
Yep.
videos like great value and so on and so forth. And in fact, then what it goes on to is a bit of a bigger offer where we charge 197 for a more in-depth masterclass and so on and so
Yeah. Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll give you like a commission for it.
Yep.
Yeah. You've already paid them forward with them and shown them that like you're like people have opted in if they've generated sales out of it.
Yep.
You've built deeper rapport than you could ever build. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
imagine it. Somebody sent you traffic for free, got you sales, and then they come to you and say, would you be prepared to look at promoting this? even if you end up not doing it, you're going to be obliged to at least look at it and
Yeah.
see like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. I'll mail to this. Give me the affiliate link. We'll set it up, and then you do the set, and then next time around you obviously get the affiliate link from them, and then now you've got a partner
Yeah.
who has super influence and potentially even bigger than you, and or even if they're not, like, do you know what I mean? Like it's like they can drive some traffic, get some sales. You do that a number of times,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe you create like a little syndicate where you connect one guy with another guy and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, and they see the value. And this all started from you reaching out to somebody and adding value first through
Yeah.
outreach. You see how the, the tool is not the most important thing here. The
Mm.
tool facilitates it.
Yeah,
But it's the
exactly.
market strategy behind it that's more important.
Yeah. And I really like your outside of the box thinking. Like when it comes to growth strategies and growth hacks, like
Yeah,
I've been fortunate to see also interview other people who come up with really clever strategies. But like what you just said with the affiliate one, that's probably the first time I've heard somebody use that with the pay it forward strategy. And I like how you box that in, a pay it forward strategy, because that's what you need to do. And even just sending the traffic to them for free. Uh, it's very tough to get people to see that long-term vision. But
long-term vision is key.
yeah,
Like so, like one of the things that like where we had a lot of long-term visions, like I said before, is that we probably offered out and given like in the regions of like 1,000 free licenses,
yeah,
like to strategic partners. Do you
hmm
know what I'm saying? Like a 3 year, sometimes even lifetime, depends on who it is.
yeah,
Because there, that maybe that 2, 3 grand for the year or whatever it is, like we can make that like tenfold
yeah, exactly.
when they talk about us. Like now, every time they, because what a lot of people do is when they're blogging as well, they'll come back to the same topics and write about them differently. So
Yeah,
every time outreach comes up in their messaging,
hmm
who are they going to talk about? Every time Neil Patel talks about outreach, we get mentioned.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And he's not even an affiliate of us, and he drives us traffic and generates us sales. Like he's on our list of conversions every single month. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? Same with Brian Dean and lots of different people in the game.
yeah, yeah. Like it's almost ironic now because like you guys are Ninja Outreach and your tool facilitates outreach, but you're at a stage where you don't even really need to do outreach anymore because like you've built that brand
Never,
persona. Yeah, yeah,
never, never in that place.
yeah,
Never in that place. Never in that place. I would say I'm never in a place where we don't really need to do outreach. Ever. Like we do outreach every single day. Like there's people in our team, it's their
yeah,
job. Like I'm like when it comes to the end of the week, we're looking at numbers. Like we reached out to this many people, we got this many responses back. It generated into this many links. It turned into this many guest proposed opportunities. It
yeah,
means that we've got this many product reviews. It means that we got on this many resource pages. We got this many podcast opportunities.
mm,
Like never stopping. Like
yeah,
we're never getting complacent when we think, oh, we've made it. We don't need to. What's it called? It's always the next level. There's always the next ceiling. Like we're at a certain level of traffic and so on and so forth. Like we want to get to that next level. We want to double the traffic by next year. If we
mm,
stop, in my mind, like we could potentially go stagnant, and that's one of the things that scares me the most. So I
hmm
never stop, always attacking it, always going hard.
uh,
Because now we just got a team. Now we've
yeah.
got a team that allows us to scale what we're doing versus just me being me and Dave.
Yeah, like you said almost something that's mirrored, like my agency's progress because I actually started scaling my team as well, because that's what you have to
Mm,
do, if you want to grow. Uh,
100%.
yeah. So I really like what it is you've been doing and like what direction you're going in. Now, also just before the call, you said something to me that was really interesting, and that was the be everywhere effect. I've yeah, I've seen it with someone else's case study. I think he was an author, and he just made sure to be in every place possible for his particular niche. Now,
Yeah,
yeah, and then he was able to generate book sales, and then he was making his own online income. Uh, there's
yeah.
yeah, there's always new players who come into the game, and like they start off small, and then all of a sudden it seems like they just appear out of nowhere. Yeah, and that's because they follow the same kind of strategy. But like you mentioned that like you did it with the SEO tools. So if you don't mind, could you just share that story again?
Yeah, no, definitely. So. Like, you know, like when you do see somebody and it's like they just came up from nowhere.
Yeah.
Like whenever you speak to that person, like you hear about a story of sweat,
Yeah.
struggle, and so on and so forth. Like it's that 365 days to overnight success sort of story, not
Yes.
overnight success. If you know what I mean. Like you just didn't see what was below the surface. If you know what I mean. So in relation to like the be everywhere effect, like I need to give props to Pat Flynn because I remember hearing him talk about it, and I started implementing it. We started implementing this before we even brought out Ninja Outreach.
Hmm.
And the be everywhere effect, basically, the mindset is this: if somebody is a potential customer of your product, yeah, the likelihood is that they're doing research in lots of different places. They're not just like on one big blog and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So what happens with a lot of customers or people that are looking to grow is they think, oh, I just want to be on sites that have a big authority. I just want to go on those types of sites and that's it. And my mindset is that you shouldn't be thinking like that. When it comes to like the be everywhere effect, like the key sort of thought process that you're thinking about is that it's not just about being on big sites and so on and so forth. You want to be everywhere. You want to be on smaller sites, up and coming sites, medium tier sites, big sites. You want to be everywhere. And the mindset behind that is that the more places you are, your customer, the likelihood, like when it comes to your customer and people that are going to be interested in what you offer, they look at more than one website. And sometimes people's attention is very small nowadays. Like I think we're in like an attention deficit age. So there's so much different things going on. It's like, it's really hard to sort of stay focused on anything. Yeah. So somebody might be on one website and they're browsing through and they see something about Ninja Outreach.
Yeah.
And they're just like, cool, whatever. And then they go on another website and they see something about Ninja Outreach, like another business site or something like that, they see something about Ninja Outreach. And they're like, I've heard about this site before. They might not even remember that they saw it on that site. I've heard of that site before. And they may investigate from there. Or they may still just be like, I should look into them. And then they go somewhere else and they see it again. They go somewhere else and they see it again.
Yeah.
And it keeps repeating in their mind, like what advertisers do with billboards and so on and so forth until you pick something up. And it's like, basically, there's going to be some point where the person goes and has a look. Maybe they click through, they have a look, and they're like, oh, influencers, that's something I might be interested in down the line. And then obviously they're doing something in their business. Someone starts talking about influencers. They say, oh, there's this site called Ninja Outreach or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it basically, you're creating this effect of being everywhere, yeah, and creating like multiple hits in your customers' minds and so on and so forth. And
Yeah.
then what this does is this allows different people to see you as like either like the thought leader in that particular space
Yeah.
or the go-to product or service for that particular space and so on and so forth. And I could share with you like I guess a case study or just results of what's
Yeah.
happened from that. So me and Dave, we in a year and a half, we published over 170 guest blog posts. We was on over 100 100 podcasts, 100 product reviews, and we reached out to tens of thousands of websites, yeah, for mentions and all different types of collaborations. Now, that obviously put us in a lot of different places online in like a year's sort of time. And what came off of that is that somebody would be doing a guest post on somebody else's website, like Moz, for example,
Yeah.
and they'd talk about finding emails, and then they'd mention Ninja Outreach, and we don't even know who that person is, and
Yeah.
they've mentioned Ninja Outreach for us, and now we've got a link on a site like Moz, which has got an amazing authority, and that link is generating us traffic and generating us sales. I remember one day I was looking at my Google Analytics, and I was like, Forbes, why am I getting traffic from Forbes? Like, we've never published on Forbes. Like, Forbes rejected us. To be honest, that's what they did. They didn't reject it. They ignored us. Yeah. And I thought, why are we getting traffic from them? So I had done some research, run a search for Forbes and our name, and I found somebody had written an article. Somebody who's a contributor on Forbes had written an article, and they'd mentioned us in that article. The Be Everywhere effect allowed us to get on Forbes where we tried to get on before. Then what we did is we leveraged that, and we reached out to that person who was the contributor. Was like, who's your contact there, and so on and so forth. Like, thanks for mentioning us. Who's your contact there? Got to know who the editor is, and we was able to reach out to them and be like, oh yeah, one of your contributors like mentioned us before, and so on and so forth. Like, we've got a piece that we'd like to really put out there, stuff like that. We're able to get our own fully fledged article on there as well. So the Be Everywhere effect is super important, in my opinion. It's something which allows you to basically gain share within the mind space of your customers and your audience as a whole. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Oh, it makes complete sense. This is something that I really try to push. Like I push it in the SEO space and with guest blogging and content marketing, but I also do it on the paid side as well with like Facebook advertising and social media advertising and social media promotion as well. It doesn't matter what you're doing, but you do need to be like everywhere in front of your target audience and customers. And like your case study is just like a brilliant example of like why people need to do that, and also seeing the direct effects as well as the indirect effects. And like we were talking about vision before, where a lot of people they just don't have the vision. Uh, you know, we were
Yeah.
yeah, like we were doing a campaign, and unfortunately the campaign has stopped, and the person that we were doing it for, they only wanted to do it for 3 months, and like the market was scalable. You know, the topics like we could have built it into a site that would have generated millions of visitors a month, and I'm sure it would have generated hundreds of thousands or even millions in sales. But they were just so fixated on the short-term wins, you know, and seeing that direct win and not the long-term one where, well, I kind of call it like a piggybacking strategy. So you
Mm,
use, yeah, like you gain one opportunity and then use that opportunity to gain other opportunities like what you did with Forbes, you know, and yeah,
exactly.
but you have to have the vision, you know, and if you don't have that vision, then you're not going to get far at all.
100%. I agree with you 100%. And it's a shame. Like, it is a shame that a lot of people's minds are limited to the bigger vision and so on and so forth. And vision is super important. Like
Yeah,
I think I was saying to you before that like this stuff is not about tools.
yeah,
Like tools help. They
yeah,
help facilitate stuff. But you've got to start thinking about like what's going on in the marketplace. Like how do I build relationships with people? Like how do I collaborate? How do I scale? And so on and so forth. You've got to think about these different things. Like you've got to you've got to reach out to people that have done what you're trying to do
hmm,
and pick their brain. It's not sometimes it's not just about, oh, will you mention me or do a product review for me? Maybe find someone that is getting tons of results in your space, yeah, and
yeah,
reach out to them. See, the outreach doesn't always have to be like direct, like reach out to them and say, can you take them for a drink or can you do something for them if you can't maybe take them for a drink because they're in a different place in the world? Like, can you do something for them?
yeah,
What can you do? I don't know. Like, but like think about it. Be
yeah,
creative, yeah, and get in conversations with people. A lot of people are open to sharing their expertise and their knowledge. Like
hmm,
if you approach them correctly. Uh, so don't be scared to approach. Yeah, so a lot of people are very approachable.
yeah.
So it's just about focus and getting out to these people that can help you because there's a lot of people out there that can help you. Like,
Yeah, I completely agree. Man. Look, Mark, I want to say thank you for like being on. You know, like, you
no
know,
worries.
I think what we've done today, it's been brilliant. But like, you've got so much knowledge and so much expertise. I feel like I might have to do a dedicated like series, you know, for you. You know, but
Be interesting. That could
yeah,
definitely be interesting.
yeah, because like something
Do
else
like
that
a masterclass.
yeah, go because like you've also touched on growth hacking and like PR, and there's a lot of people who don't uh, like they just don't do that, and it's it's very interesting to see you do that. Like one, just with being an expert in what you do, but two, as a business owner, and working with your like partners and your team, and really getting a process in place to make that work, and you can see how that's really driven the core fundamentals of your tool that you've developed, and why you have a tool that's like really well received in the SEO industry.
It's
So
true. It's true. Like having a team is super important. Like we could have a topic just on team
yeah,
building, team leadership, and so on and so forth, and the different things that you can do to help scale from that point of view is super important. Like, yeah, the thing is, there's tons of things about running a business that's got nothing to do with just what our tool does. If you know what I mean, our
yeah,
tool is one piece of the puzzle.
yeah,
Like, there's things like elements of your website you change to improve your conversion. There's
yeah,
things like onboarding people
hmm,
and like looking at traffic to sign up.
sign up to paid, how do you increase the margin? How do you increase the amount of people that sign up? Like, how do you know what I'm saying? There's so many different factors that we're looking at. We're not just like looking at, we're not just one trick pony, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So look, again, I want to say thank you for like being on.
No problem.
Just before like we close out, where can people find you? How can they contact you? Like, where should they follow like Ninja Outreach and the man himself?
So Facebook, just run a search for Mark Samms. I'm not sure exactly what my URL tells, but just run a search in Facebook for Mark Samms, and you'll find me. I do a lot of like I've done a few, and I'm getting a lot more consistent with doing like Facebook lives and so on and so forth. Again,
Cool.
not necessarily just talking about Ninja Outreach, but talking about like strategy, marketing, mindset. I talk about a lot of mindset stuff, like how you develop yourself and so on and so forth to be somebody that can take action on these different strategies and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. And then like I'm loving Instagram lately, like whacking up quotes, and I'm getting some good engagement over there. So again, it's Ninja Out. I mean, so it's Instagram, Mark Samms, and then we've got a Ninja Outreach one as well. We've got a one search for Ninja Outreach on Facebook, and you'll find our pages and our fan pages and stuff like that. We're on Twitter. Just run a search for the names, and you'll find us. Obviously, Ninja Outreach is the actual website itself, but yeah, the key thing, guys, is just to just focus on like what works. Just focus on things like the actual people, the people that you're dealing with, and so on and so forth. They're real people, like, and you want to build relationships that last and allow you to sort of create stuff that lasts long term. It's not just like a one hit sort of churn and burn type of mentality.
Yeah. Oh, look, awesome. Well, look, guys, you've heard him. Like, he's dropped like amazing gems, and I definitely recommend going and like looking at their blog. You know, look at all the resources. You're gonna find them online. They're everywhere. You know, to be everywhere effect. You know, and see what it is that they've been saying, because there's a lot of things that you can actually take away and just apply what works. So look, again, thank you again, Mark.
No worries. Take care, guys.